To be able to provide the best life for the domestic animals that are part of a farm system, it's good to be able to consider the fundamental needs of those animals and provide for those needs within the context of your production system and how it's set up and how you manage the movement of your animals through it. So some of the ideas that talk to that is one with the diet and providing a good nutrient dense natural diet. The nutrient density really comes from the healthy functioning of an ecosystem. So the more fertile and biologically active the soil is, the more able the microorganisms are to supply those nutrients to the plants, and the more diverse and healthy those plants become. And therefore when the grazers and browsers forage upon those plants, they're getting the best supply of nutrients from that those plants are capable of providing. So it's a matter of maintaining the health of that system and setting up a system that best replicates the type of habitat that they would have naturally come from, and incorporates the range of plants that would naturally be part of its diet within that habitat. The other one is the adequate shelter and space to roam. In New Zealand in particular, we're not so good at providing good shelter to animals, because the animals that we have domesticated have all naturally come from an open woodland type environment, mostly within that Fertile Crescent Middle East region. So it's kind of a sparse, diverse forested grassland ecosystem, so it's a bit of a mosaic type structure to it. So to provide the best habitat to those animals, we're best replicating that kind of habitat where they can find sufficient shelter and supplement their diet by browsing upon those trees when required, when that's required. So that ties in with the natural foraging activities, but also being aware of what those activities entail, and to make the most productive use of those foraging activities. So a chicken, for example, with scratching through the leaf litter to uncover bugs, can be utilised within a system where that activity is of benefit within that system. So within a garden system, for example, its ability to scratch through the undergrowth and pick out the bugs would be of benefit to turn over the mulch layer and to remove any pest insects from that mulch layer, so we can make use of that characteristic of that animal within a production system. Equally with a sheep or a cow or a goat, by being aware of its natural function in its foraging, you can align that function with an activity that's of benefit within your production system. So it may be eating down the undergrowth in an orchard, it might be transitioning the biomass of plants within a pasture system into manures to help build up the soil ecology and restore fertility to that landscape. But being aware of what their functions are, we can start to plan out their movement through the landscape in the most beneficial way. And supportive social structures is to do with what is the natural family grouping of that particular animal, and what kind of family grouping would it feel most comfortable within. So for a chicken, for example, it's the one rooster with 12 hens. Most domestic animals such as cows, sheep and goats have a male with also 8 to 12 females generally. So replicating that kind of structure will provide the environment which will maintain their social wellness.